KI gets spectate mode, Ridge Racer sells out, and will sports games be Arcade1up's new focus? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and another episode of This Week. This is episode 83, the show where we talk about what happened this week in the world of the home arcade world. I think I said world twice. What's going on, everybody? Oh, okay. So just in case you were wondering, jet lag is real. Yes, Victoria, there is a Santa Claus. There is also jet lag. I flew in from Vegas, or not. I'm sorry, not Vegas. Yeah, that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. I flew in from Hawaii. I've been up since roughly 12 o'clock yesterday. So I got about like 2 hours of sleep. So yeah, jet lag's a real thing. Not an excuse to give a poor performance here today. Not an excuse to not do a show or do a short show. No, we're not doing that. That's not what we do here. Okay. We fake it until we make it. That's what's going on, everybody. Thanksgiving is wrapped up. That week is over. It's been crazy for me. Hopefully you were able to kind of get back into the swing of things and get back into work. We're looking, kind of down the barrel of a nice short month. Hopefully you've saved up some vacations. You can take like all of December off. That's what I do. I take most of December off. So enough of that. What are we drinking? So tonight we're going to crack open a new bottle of, you're probably going to be mad because it's the same old. It is Jefferson's. I wanted to go back to the standby. We finished off the Camelot Farms. Actually, I think I finished that off stream. So that was done. So we're back with the Jeffersons. It's a great thing. It's a great standby. Going to go with I'm probably going to have a couple different bottles going this month just so we can keep it up, keep it changed, keep it different. There's going to be a lot of streaming this month. Also, something for you to be aware of. I take vacation around Christmas time, and last year we did this. We're going to do this again this year. We're going to have the 5 days of streaming. So the week after Christmas, I think. Yeah, maybe the week before. I haven't decided yet. Stay tuned to the channel. We're going to do 5 days of streaming. So every day for 5 days, we're going to do just a stream. It's a live stream. It's going to be kind of informal. We can talk about maybe a single topic, but it's going to be a lot of interaction, discussion, and there will be some giveaways. This year, I got some good ones. Probably do one per show. So definitely want to stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and have a drink. And then while you're taking your sip of whatever you happen to have in your glass, avert your eyes to the chat. Every week, we do a poll on the show. I ask a question. This week, is it vague? Possibly. Intentionally vague? Maybe. But the general question is simply this. We got 44 votes. That's pretty good. Let's get up there. Let's see if we can't get 200 again this week. That would be really, really good. I really want to know where everybody falls on this simple question. Is there any online feature that is worth $100? I'll get to the reason why I'm asking a little bit later in the show, but is there any online thing, spectate mode, online play, is there any kind of a voice chat, whatever it is there anything out there that you think warrants a $100 increase in the price of the cabinet? 50 votes already. Thanks. Jump in there and let your voices be heard. I really want to know listen, where do you fall? It's a weird kind of concept, a weird kind of discussion to have when we're talking about an old arcade, something that is nostalgia driven, right? The whole purpose of the sale is to sort of relive something that was, new in the 80s and the 90s. There was really no internet. There was no online gaming functionality at all. So is it necessary? Is it worth $100 is the question. So let me know what you think about that. I'm curious to see where you fall on that. And of course, I'll give you my answer also at the end of the show. Okay. All right. Jet lag is not, it's not too bad. You know what helps with jet lag? Bourbon. Also, if you've seen the movie Die Hard, you take off your shoes and you curl your toes on the carpet. Just make sure that you put your shoes back on in case, like somebody breaks into your house. I don't know, like German, terrorists, just some food for thought. Let's go ahead and say hi to the chat before I continue to ramble on hysterically and nonsensically, if that's a word. Trend Fanatic is the first one up in the queue here. It says, hey, Fox, and all the other cool people. Yes, all the other people are very cool in this chat. Got to pick up Ridge Racer from Best Buy, then work on my 1982 Datsun 280Z, really with the 5-speed because of a loud noise coming from the rear end. So I may or may not catch the stream. It's okay. You got to take care of your rear end. I mean, listen, there's a lot of things that requires focus. The rear end is something you definitely want to focus on. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate it. Gotham City Arcade says, "Hey, Battle, question. Are you enjoying or disliking the new update for the Killer Instinct cab? Thoughts?" We're going to get into that a little bit later on in the show. But also be forewarned, bear in mind, I just got back home like 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Times when I walked into the house. So I had to get caught up. I have gone online. I have, fired up the cab to see what was going on. We're going to talk about that a little bit, what I found and what you can expect to find with your KI cab if you decide to fire it up to see what this new update is all about. I missed one. Let me go back up. So Black Goblin says there were at least 6 NFL Blitz cabs sitting at my local Best Buy. Come on, $3.99. It might happen. It might happen. I kind of was surprised at the $4.99 as quickly as it happened, but listen, the longer these things sit on shelves, keep your eyes peeled, right? Always go back. Always, if you know a guy at the Walmart or the Best Buy, you call him, say, "Hey, those cabinets still sitting there?" It's very possible that while we won't see an online pricing that aggressive, before the end of the year, I think you could see some in-store stuff. So keep your eyes open. It would be awesome if you could pick that up for $3.99. Once again, I would be kicking myself because I, like a fool, I always pay full retail price. We have some interesting comments about rear ends and the Nakatomi Plaza in the chat. Keep those going. It is the season. It is definitely the season. What today is the? It is the, what is it today? Today is the 4th. Yeah, it is the 4th of December. Can you believe it? 2022 is almost gone. It's almost gone. I think already, only 6. There is pallets of them just sitting here, really unable to move in different stores. Pallets, he says. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So, you could potentially, $3.99 is possible. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. Cobra Kai, good evening, Fox and everyone else. Right back at you, Johnny. Good to see you. Dan Z says, "Hello, Fox," with a wave emoji. Right back at you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Made in Canada. Any question where this person comes from? Come on. Read the name. Let's go. Let's go. And Jay says, "Yo, 90K Fox, I assume you are watching the Cowboys game while doing your live stream. I know I am while on your stream." No. The answer is no, I do not. And I don't have the notification turned on my phone because I need to focus here. If I was watching the game, you would see long pauses, dead air, and some frustration, maybe some punching, and it was not a good look. It's not a good look. So no, I don't watch the game. I just catch up, and see. I'm either really disappointed or really happy when I get off stream. So, but no, I don't do it while I'm streaming. I want to make sure I focus on the stream. For sure. Lions Game Room says, "Made it. What's up, Fox? Hey, nothing much. Just chilling, hanging out, talking nonsensical." David G says, "What's up? The bad guy." Mike Worley says, "Sup, guys? Why is bad a choice? Or were you just born that way?" Question. Very, 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 important question. Bob, how the hell are you, buddy? Good to see you again. Adam Montgomery. Wow. Streaming while the boys play? I'm impressed. Listen, I made this commitment to you, and I shall honor it. But they were only down by 3 points when I came. So it's the Colts. We're probably going to take them. But you never know. You never know. Furbs. I thought it was like Furbies. Furbs says, "Sup, Fox? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Thank you for stopping by." John Phillips says, "Checking in, sir." Thank you so much for checking in, stopping by, having fun. Head Shake TV. Head Shake, just looking at TV like, what is going on? We don't even know how to quantify what we're looking at. What up, Fox? How was Hawaii? Hawaii was good. I flew into Honolulu, and then I went to Kauai, so the town of Lihu. Actually, B and his family over from Kongs R Us, they were up there. Unfortunately, we weren't able to meet up. He was on his way out as I was coming in, but it's kind of cool that we're on the same island. Kauai is the northernmost island, populated island. It is beautiful. Then I went down to the big island, into the town of Hilo, and not so much. Maybe if the weather was better, but it was really raining, really cloudy. So didn't have as much fun there. Didn't have a ton of fun at either places because I was working. But definitely not a bad place to work if you got to. BA says, good evening, right back at you. Boogasol says, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. He's a great race car driver. They were so happy that he won. MG says, evening all. MG, how the hell are you, buddy? Hope you're having a good week so far. Alfred Burger, hi. Wave emoji, Fox, and the drank will be drunken. Sure, we'll go with that. I have the built-in excuse of jet lag if I say anything odd. as if saying something odd is weird for me. C-Mart, the Centertainer, says, welcome home, brother. Go Pack. Oh, with this guy. This guy with the support of the pack. I don't get it. I just don't get it. There is something I wanted to scroll up here, and I didn't. Let me scroll up here and see. I think maybe I missed it. Oh, here we go. Gotham City Arcade asked this question early on, and no, Gotham City, I'm not going to shy away from it. What are your thoughts on Papa Brad and Console Fanboy copyrighted issues, copyright claiming each other, all this going back and forth? I'll say this, that for those of you that aren't on YouTube or trying to do this, you have that right as a content creator to copyright strike someone else, or basically, you're waving a flag and say, hey, YouTube, check this out. So you have the right to do that, and YouTube will check it out, and YouTube will ultimately decide if what action has to be taken on your behalf, right? So, everybody has that right. It's fine. So, no harm, no foul, I think. Is this getting a little old? Yeah. Is it getting a little tiring? Yeah. I don't think these guys should probably be hashing this out in public like this. Probably better to take this behind the scenes, but that's just my 2 cents. Me personally, when it comes to somebody else using my stuff, really don't care. It's happened before. It's happened in the past. It is what it is. You'd have to do something pretty flagrant, pretty crazy for me to take any kind of action. So generally speaking, you have the right to do whatever you want to do. Now, the way they're handling this personally, once again, that's their decision, not necessarily the way that I would handle it. So there is that. Didn't want to skip over that. Didn't want to glaze over that. Bones McCoy. Excited for some giveaways, Fox. Yes. This year we will be having the giveaways for sure once again. Richie A says, let's go Cowboys. You're talking. There you go. Was it so hard? Thanks, Richie. Coming in and saving the day. I don't care about online. That vote in the poll, because I think that's kind of what I'm driving at. But I don't like to just say it. I mean, yeah, my opinion is my opinion, but if we can all kind of chime in and see where we're at. The Corner Cade. What's up, Chet? How the hell are you? Good to see you, man. Put Atari Star Wars in the arcade, Fox, so everyone can play it. Everyone should have that opportunity. Absolutely. What a wonderful cab. Great cab indeed. The Big ED's Big ED's Arcade. What's up, guys? How the hell are you, man? Good to see you. Once again, stop with the dumb, okay? Tiny. It's fine. That's even factual, but dumb? I don't think so. My Tiny Dumb Arcade says, loving that space-saving Simpsons cab mod that adds both TMNT games. Yes, I've seen that on various places. I think even on eBay, you can get the PCB that has both of those on there. Wouldn't have been great if we could have gotten some kind of Konami cabinet with all those 4-player cabinet games on one PCB. I just think that Simpsons messed it up with the trackball. If you take that out, which you could do if you're trying to, make a Konami cab, we can all do without the pin. The Simpsons pinball is cool if you're making a Simpsons cabinet, but if you're making a Konami cabinet, we can do without the pinball or the bowling. We can do without the bowling, eliminate that trackball, and just have a 4-player deck, and then you could have had everything on there. That would have been really nice. But life and the hacker community, they find a way. 81 Black Belt says, it's not Christmas until I see Hans Gruber fall from Nakatomi Plaza. Absolutely. What a great Christmas movie. What a wonderful time to be spent with all your friends and family. Well, everybody 18 and over. There's some stuff in there I don't want the kids to see. Clax29 says, yes, must take care of your ear or your rear end, because where would Kim Kardashian be if she didn't take care of her rear end? Not sure what she drives, but I'm sure she probably has a maintenance guy that takes care of that for her. Zero Redux says, just watch the Super Mario trailer, and if 1UP doesn't score a collab with Nintendo in 2023, it never will. I just don't think that, listen, I don't think that Nintendo is keen on giving up a potential revenue stream with their product, with their brand. I don't know that they really trust anybody to touch their IPs. You've had some very limited examples there. I think about the what was the game? It was Mario Run or something for the iOS app. That was a game. It was a Mario game, but it was really just a dumb cell phone thing. I think that if they see value in making a Nintendo cabinet, an arcade cabinet, they'll just do it. They were the first ones to come out with the mini consoles. They just did that themselves. They kind of came up with it, and everybody else is like, ooh, I want to do that too. I just think they'll just do it on their own. They'll probably make one. I mean, listen, but the benefit of, and think about this, the benefit of Nintendo doing that. If Nintendo comes out with a product that's a cabinet, the arcade cabinet, they'll just put all the games on the cabinet. Arcade1up would try to sell multiple cabinets to try, to get all the games. If they were able to lock down, let's say 20 titles, they would probably have 2 or 3 different cabinets you would have to buy to get all those titles, because, it's not really a knock on Arcade1up. They're trying to make the most of that license. But if Nintendo was doing it, they'd make like one really solid cabinet and just put all the games on that and then call it done. It probably think of like the mini console. Like, it's like a one and done for them. They'll put it out there. They'll make their money. It's all official and branded and whatnot. Nintendo fanatics will buy that stuff up because it's officially made by Nintendo. So not just licensed by Nintendo, but actually produced by Nintendo. So I just don't think it's going to happen, man. I think that they're big enough to where if they want it, they'll get it. Dig Dug is a good cab, bad monitor. Yes. $399 is a good price, but you have to be aware of the monitor. Now, I believe, so Dig Dug and Pac-Mania are going to have that same vertical orientation. The monitor swap that I did, it wasn't good enough for me. It didn't correct the problem, so I actually got rid of it and went with Miss Pac-Man. So be aware of that. Now, if you get the Centipede cabinet, I believe that is a horizontal monitor, so you should be able to swap that out just like we did on the MK30th, and your results should be really good. So just something to think about. But yeah, bad monitor for sure. Shogeko says, what's up, Fox? How you doing? Good to see you. Adam says, no spoilers. So no spoilers. Yeah, if you could. Yeah, no spoilers. I would appreciate it. Endless One Up says, what's up, chat? And 19K Fox. Endless, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Scrolling down, we got JJ just can't help himself. Just can't help himself. He's got to give you some updates. One Up Kyle. Fair use. Fair use is fair use. Exactly. And you know what? Great advice comes along every so often. And when you see it, you got to take it. My brother Snowdub's throwing it in there, sprinkling it in like salt. Like, I guess, smash the like button, peeps. It really helps out the channel. Smash away. Have we gotten, let me sure to say hi to everybody. Raw LMC. Yeah. Raw LMC, Apex RGT. Right? Okay. Peace. How you doing? I'm sure I'm probably messing that up. I'm sure probably Raw LMC Apex IRGT. I have no idea. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I don't have to understand. It's probably beyond my comprehension. AZ Arizona, maybe. Cowboy One Scotch. And there we are. I'm probably way behind the chat. I'm thinking about where we are now. Donovan Klingle says, hey, Fox. How the hell are you? Good to see you. Let me scroll down and make sure we got this guy, the W'est of P-dubs. That doesn't make any sense at all. It's worse when I said it out loud. Congrats on 6K. Yes, we do want to. I do want to mention that we had a little bit of a milestone on the channel. That's not a little bit. It's a big deal. It's 6,000 subs. We crossed that this week, and it is incredibly humbling and much appreciated. I can't do that. Only you can. So if you're here, if you've been watching for a while, consider smashing the old subscribe button. Once again, helps me out a lot. Donuts says, Sub Fox, did you eat Spam or grilled pig in the ground in Hawaii? The Spam I wasn't interested in. I had that as a kid. I know, but it is a big deal over there. Didn't eat the pig either. Now, had some, I needed, they weren't oysters. It was something else. A lot of seafood was consumed and a couple steaks. They had a couple good burgers, but, and then sadly, pizza. we worked at the plant trying to get something done, and it's one of those time sensitive things. So I would do a lot of eating at the plant, at least for lunch. So sadly, there was some just Domino's pizza consumed. Wasn't my best, wasn't the best, wasn't the highlight of the Hawaiian experience for sure. But hey, it is what it is. The bad guy, Mike, again, the bad guy. Is it a choice? I mean, come on. That said, we will never see Cruising USA. Probably not. It's driving cabinet. Maybe. I could maybe do, I'm thinking like Play Choice stuff, Nintendo classic stuff. They could get away with one cabinet style. Boom, here it is. Maybe they would do a one-off driving cabinet. I don't know. Not like sure. Angel Otero, how the hell are you, buddy? Nin, 10, don't play well with others. That's very true. That's very true. And I kind of get it, guys. I kind of get it. Control your IP, control your brand, have 100% control of how your brand looks out there in the wild. I wish it would work better with others. We could get more cool stuff. It is what it is. I'll take it. Sony 4K says, hey, Fox, so glad I scored Ridge Racer. The best still of the year, buddy, on that cabinet. Detroit Love, how the hell are you? What up, Fox? D-Love, how the hell are you, man? Thanks for stopping by. And I hope everybody checked out his stream earlier tonight. Much fun was had by all. Mike Hawkhurts says, great stream tonight, Carl. Exactly. It was fun looking back at 2018. It's been a hell of a few years, hasn't it? It's been fun. A lot has happened, especially when you take that snapshot of those many years and the developments within the home arcade community. It's been pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. The Unacceptable Fringe says, love the channel, Fox. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Checked out your video too. Got a lot of views on that, buddy. Good job. Just upgraded my arcade to the Dragon's Lair Gold over Black Friday. Love your Dragons, Double Dragon cab. It is awesome. I mean, we can go back and forth about the game selection, but the cab looks really good. So I'm glad you were able to pick one up too, man. Glad you were able to pick one up too. Thank you. Thanks again for the 6. Congrats on the 6 subs from 6 subs. You did good, Fox. Look at you. Pat me on the head. 6 subs. All right. No, 6K. Thanks, Detroit Love. I am about 155 shy of 5K. That's a crime. Everybody, swing by Detroit Love's channel. Check it out. Consider smashing that subscribe button. He is your one-stop shop for battery-powered countercades. Check him out. Check him out. Two stupid idiots. Two stupid idiots. Your words, not mine. Says, any word on Time Crisis 2? I'd love that, or a Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Not sure when Time Crisis is coming out. Probably gonna. We've talked about this at length. Time Crisis is probably going to come out. I'm thinking CES, and then it's not going to have Time Crisis 2, unfortunately. Hey, listen, could be wrong. I would love to be wrong, but I don't think that I am. And Anthony Vitali, man, I messed that up. I know. Anthony V stopped by, one of the greatest render guys in the community on the YouTube. Says Sunday fun day. Yes, indeed. Sunday has now become fun day. Absolutely. So we said hi to everybody in the chat. Check out the poll. Definitely want to know where everybody falls on that. Oh, Goofy Foot. I didn't say hi to you, did I? Says great history lesson tonight. D-Love. Absolutely. Many things were discussed. A lot of hallmarks in arcade or home arcade gaming history. Beach Native 78. Got to say hi to you as well. What up, Fox? I'm sick. Oh, that sucks. So I may pass out during the stream. It's okay. It's not going anywhere. Just come back and watch it when you're feeling a little bit better. Hope you get over that, man. That's not good. That is not good. Definitely want to get well. So we talked about the drink. We said hi to the chat. We talked about the poll that you definitely should jump up there and vote on. Now let's go ahead and get into the first topic. KI Spectate mode beta something. What's going on? Killer Instinct, a cabinet that I thought for the most part was pretty complete. I mean, it is what it is. Was I really happy about the 8-bit and 16-bit versions of Battletoads being on the cabinet? No, not really. But to each his own. The fact that they call them out as bonus games makes it a little bit easier for pill to swallow. But you know the way I feel about this. I don't think console games have no place on a thing that's supposed to mimic the arcade experience, an arcade cabinet. That's just the way that I feel about that. So, I thought that this cabinet was, for the most part, it was what it was. We got what we got. Not bad, considering when, much wiser KI fans than I, those that really understand the ROM, they've been happy with it. Not that it's perfect, but they've been happy with the emulation, the recreation of that game. The cabinet, for the most part, is pretty good. I really wish that it would have had that MK30th cab shape. I mean, especially when you have them side by side, it's not terrible, but it really would have been nice to have that control panel slant for sure. But for the most part, I thought the cabinet was pretty good. Well, swap out the marquee, right? And then you're good to go. And then you're good to go. Then you have everything, right? But something else happened. And it's kind of cool when you think about it. So when I fight, and maybe you don't even know what we're talking about, but basically, online play has been available for KI, since it came out. There's no delay there. That's actually kind of how we got a sneak peek at, or we knew about the existence, the true existence of the pro version, because some guy named Justin, somebody, I don't know, had a little pro by his name, right? As you were playing online. So if you just go to your cabinet today or tomorrow, or I think this happened a couple days ago, and you fire up your cabinet, you should get this message. This is what I got right here. Now, I saw what everybody else was talking about the beta, the spectate mode beta that was going on, and that Code Mystics was working on this in the background. But I heard about that. But if you hadn't heard anything, this is what you can expect to see pop up on your home screen. It says you can opt into Code Mystics community beta and try out spectating. And to do that, you can't really access it from here necessarily. You have to visit their website to you actually get the instructions and figure out how you accomplish that. But if you just hit OK, it's not like an update that downloads and you're ready to go. That wasn't my experience as of today. It's not going to be your experience, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, maybe it's better if it's done this way, because you're not going to have to worry about. There's some people that don't really care about it. There could be issues, lag. I haven't taken part in the beta myself, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's just fine. And if you don't want to be bothered by that, well, then maybe this is probably the better way to go. You're not forcing, but you're asking people to opt into something. It's optional. Hey, we like options. That's definitely a good thing. So this is what you can see. Now, if you go to their website, not from your cabinet, you're not going to navigate to the website from the cabinet. You have to go on to your laptop or your phone, your cell phone, your whatever, and you're going to see this. This is sort of the first thing that kind of pops up, and it's a long list of things. We're going to go through some of this today. But basically what you have here is Code Mystics saying Arcade1up is really, they're working hard on all their other stuff. They've got their current products that are out there. They're really pushing their what are they called? I even forgot like the name, the collector case. Yeah, they're really pushing the collector case. That's really a big seller for them. But they talk about how Arcade1up is busy with their current products, the upcoming products, and they gave us permission to, on our weekends, on our off days, on our after hours, do this on the side. I'm going to take this at face value. Some cynical person may say, oh, come on, that's just a way of them, kind of pumping themselves up and saying, oh, look how great we are. I don't necessarily, I'm going to take this at face value until I see something to the contrary. I think that they heard the cries from some people in the arcade community. With the Capcom cabinets, you have that option of spectate mode. Marvel versus Capcom 1, Big Blue, they all had that. When we got into the MK30th, wasn't an option. And unfortunately, it wasn't an option for Killer Instinct also. So the fact that these guys were passionate enough about it, that they wanted to see what they could do and truly work on this on their off time is pretty, it's pretty awesome. I think that is a great way for them to stay connected to the community and do something that, at the end of the day, it doesn't really give them a monetary benefit, in my opinion. Now, you and I can maybe advocate for Code Mystics to do all the games, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, right? So this is kind of the first thing that pops up, and it's, like I said, this is a long list of stuff you're going to have to do, but this is how they started off. They say they have permission from Arcade1up to do this. It's a passion project of theirs. They did this on their off time. It's kind of cool, guys. It's kind of cool. So that aside, now what is going to be the process? What do you actually, what is this going to avail you? Okay, so we could play online before. What's the point? Spectate mode was a big deal for a lot of people, especially when they were hosting some of these fighting, competitions, right? You could sit, you could watch, right? You could actually spectate and watch the game. You could call the game so much simpler. So some of the things you're going to have access to. If you look at this, as you do this, you're going to go back to your cabin. You're going to have this little, I guess it's a disclaimer saying the KI Spectate community beta, and it's allowing you to have the option to opt in or opt out. that's kind of nice. You're not really locked into this, from my understanding, as of my few hours of trying to get into this and see what's going on. So yeah, you're going to be able to get in, get out. It's kind of nice. What are the things you're going to be able to do? So there's another screenshot that I grabbed. It says you can choose settings to show the online match or not. So you can, if you're playing, you can never show your match. So you don't have to. You can participate in online gaming, but you don't necessarily have to broadcast your match. What if, I don't know, what if you're like me? What if you're like Fox and you're really not that good? You enjoy playing the game, but you're just not that good. And you decide to go ahead and fight somebody and get beat 30 times in a row. Maybe, just, I'll take the hit. I don't mind. I do not rage quit. I'll take the L. But do I really want to take the L in front of all of y'all? Maybe not. So maybe I just don't feel like doing that. Maybe the L is hard enough. So it's nice that you're going to be able to do that, So never, always, or with the live menu. So that's kind of a cool option. Lower left, you're going to see you can select that. Now we've had some of this before with other cabinets, but you can hide this menu from this person or this tag. Remove from favorites if they are in your favorites. You can kick them. You can kick them and block them. And I don't mean like, this is not like kicking and blocking. This is actual, not allow this person to play against you, and you can block them. And then you can also report the user. Kind of a way to reduce online harassment, which, you're talking about a fighting game. Online harassment is the name of the game. But if you've had quite enough of hearing from so-and-so how bad you are, well, this gives you an option to block that person. And then you can also see the bottom right hand is another little splash screen, another little font up top that says it lets you know that you've actually joined this match in a spectate capacity. So that's some of the stuff you can expect if you're in the beta. What's going to change beyond that, I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully not that much. Maybe they're just going to refine this. It would be great to really load this up, get as many people doing this as possible, and they can really identify all the weak links. That would be the best way to go. Kind of the point of a beta. And betas are great, but you know what else is great? A $5 super chat, $4.99 from Tyler Fisher. How the hell are you, Sir Fox? I sold all. Shocking, Macaulay Culkin face. What? I sold all 3/4 scale and hoping for XL in 23. Have you done a prediction 23 show? Thoughts on XL and 23? Hoping for T2, Buck Hunter, Showtime, etc. I've talked about what I expect to come next year. I don't think that I'm confident enough to give it a straight up do a prediction video. But what you're talking about, I think, is probably a different video, a different topic altogether. It's not so much the games we can expect to get. I mean, some of those are kind of a lock, with some of the legacies. But I like where your head's at. Will we see a departure completely from 3/4 scale cabinets? In my video, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually did talk about how you could continue to segment their products by allowing a 3/4 scale with riser to exist, but have the majority of the cabinets basically be XL cabinets. So your legacy would also be your budget entry to the upright cabinet segment of their products. And then XL is where all the mainstreamers are. Everybody goes, if you're going to get it, you want it in XL. But if you don't want to spend an extra $100, $200, whatever, I think they'll still retain that, but it probably won't be the norm moving forward. That's just my opinion. You can take that in $5 and get you a Starbucks. Thank you so much again for the $5 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sorry, but unfortunately, somebody's got to go today. It's you.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
So sad. So sad. He was such a young man. Is what it is, right? Is what it is. So that's what you can expect to see if you partake in the beta. Is it going to? I think that if they've gone this far, we're definitely going to see this coming, for real. And it's great that it happened. It's great that Code Mystics did this. I think overall, if I'm going to say something right now, it's going to seem to contradict that. But what I think overall is a good thing. I'm glad that they did it. But it's the way that it was done. Labor of love, is that a good thing or a bad thing? This labor of love that they had to do on their weekends and off time, once again, appreciate the effort. It's awesome, even though I'm not really super keen on that feature. to see that effort put in, I would never deny anyone that effort. It's awesome. But is it a good thing or a bad thing that Code Mystics had to do this on the weekends or after hours? Why didn't Arcade1up see the value in pushing for it? Or more importantly, why didn't they see the value in paying for it? Because I think the conversation probably happened and Arcade1up just didn't see the value in adding spectate mode for insert dollar amount here. I don't think they wanted to pay for it. And so the only way we're going to get it is if Code Mystics basically just did it for us, did it for free, pro bono, on the side, and I'm glad they did. But is that a good sign? Because that tells us a couple different things, right? Development costs could be super high, or, Arcade1up doesn't see the value in spectate mode, period, because we haven't seen it on a lot of other cabinets. And does this also mean that we're not going to see an update process with these cabinets? A lot of us, I've got a comment here, just a second. Yeah, okay. Thank you. They don't see the value in that and adding that. And because maybe they didn't see the value in adding spectate mode, which is just one example, right? I'm acknowledging it's just one example. Then I begin to not see the value in having an online capable cabinet beyond online play. What's my point? My point is that isn't this the reason why you have an online enabled cabinet? Okay, sure, for online play, great, but online updates, online fixes, and adding additional features would extend the life of the product, would make the customer that much more apt and encouraged to buy your next product because, hey, you buy it, but you might get it a game, maybe not a game, but well, we saw that with Outrun, didn't we? You could possibly get a game. You could possibly get a feature. You could possibly get something, maybe a different version of the same game, something. And then obviously updates to issues. So I don't know that it's necessarily a good thing. While I appreciate that it was done, I don't know that it's a good sign or a bad sign because they had to do it in the way they had to do it. And I also think that maybe this doesn't really necessarily mean we're going to get spectate mode on future cabinets either. Maybe the Capcom variants will have it because it's just sort of embedded into those cabinets now because they've laid the foundation with their other cabinets. But I don't know, guys. I just don't know how to feel about that. But at the end of the day, I think it's awesome. More features to an existing cabinet is great, actually. And if you think about it this way, the big selling point of the iArcade is the fact that, yeah, you have a kind of a big price tag in the beginning, but what they're going to do for you is add more games, add more features, supposedly, right? Add light guns and all that. So that's one of the big selling points of that cabinet. Arcade1up could also have a portion of that. That could be a small reason why you would buy an Arcade1up is because they would be able to eventually in the future, or at least don't rule it out, we'll add additional features. We'll add online play, But unfortunately, what this does for me, it kind of shows this wishy-washy back and forth nature, maybe not seeing the value in investing in a product that's already sold. Maybe they're like, what's the point? If we've already sold these cabinets, probably as many as we're going to sell, why put any more money into it? But it just kind of reminds me of, even though this came before these two cabinets, it sort of reminds me of Blitz and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 all over again. Remember, what I think you should do, under promise and over deliver. So just say they're online enabled cabinets, and then eventually you can bring these things out. Should they ever attach a fee to a feature? Let's say it doesn't come with online play. Let's say they don't tell you you're going to be able to have online play, but eventually it just shows up where it's an option. Should they charge for that? I don't think so. Because you can eventually work this out to where it takes 6 months after ownership of the cabinet, and it's another reason to fire up their cabinet. It's another reason to play their product. They are extending the life of their product by doing that. Don't rule it out. Look at your phone. Same thing. You're not going to get online play, but you're going to get additional features. You're going to get a new updated version of the operating system it's going to allow you to have new things. It's not going to change the hardware. That's impossible, but it is going to add functionality. Thus sort of, it's like, well, I guess I'll keep this a little bit longer because I'm getting these updates and it's doing something. So what is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I think if that's your question, The answer is it's a good thing. Why was it done? Why was it done in this way? That points to a couple different ways, I think. At the end of the day, it is all about money, and I don't think that that is a bad thing because you want them to be profitable. I want them to be profitable so they can make more stuff. So, Michael B can get his Robotron, so that P-Dubs can get his Qbert, so that Justin Console Kids can get his Zaxxon, so that what does he want? Stun Runner? Sure. So he can get his Stun Runner. So we can all get our game that we just really want to have. That's only going to happen if they stay profitable. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, I think it's good that we got it. The way we got it, well, that is probably going to be up to you to decide. Moving on to the next topic, but before we get into that, before we take one more step, we got to acknowledge my good buddy Anthony V with a faux 99 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If the KI Online update goes well, then they have set the new standard for Arcade1up Online. Will Arcade1up need to keep that standard moving forward? I think so. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you give something, away with every cabinet. I don't think that you necessarily give away online play to every cabinet or think that you're committed to give away online play to every cabinet. That's not necessarily my point. My point is to offer features that improve the cabinet in any way, shape, or form, whether it adds voice chat, whether it adds just some online leaderboards that maybe it didn't have before, whether it adds spectate mode to a cabinet that already had online play. It doesn't necessarily lock you down to adding that one specific feature, but it does imply to the consumer that you can expect updates. You can expect additional features. Maybe it's a new splash screen. Maybe it is the addition of one game. Maybe it's the addition of a different version of a game. I mean, what if the KI cabinet came out and was out for a long time, and then as a bonus game, you got those console games? Now, you know how I feel about the console games. I don't like them, but that would be kind of a good thing. You didn't know you were going to get it, and it shows up on the cabinet. It's a nice nod. It's a nice gesture. It is kind of a freebie, kind of something. It is setting a precedent for this cabinet isn't just dead as soon as I buy it. It's not just going to be running the same iOS, doing the exact same thing. And it's going to maybe, just maybe, make you be a little more at ease when you buy this cabinet, when you make that big purchase. Like, well, but if there is a problem, they'll just online fix the problem, or maybe they'll add something in the future. So it is a standard, I think, that they should move forward, the standard of constantly improving their products through software, not necessarily locking them into always adding, said feature, right? Insert this feature, whatever it is. So anyway, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. And you know what? Me and you, let's go kill the queen. It wouldn't just be amazing if that game just shows up on your Capcom Legacy cabinet? Wouldn't that be a daisy? Wouldn't that be lovely? So that would be great, but here's something maybe we need to talk about that maybe isn't great. When you go to the Arcade1up website, you see different things, different promotions, different packages. They put together these collections of cabinets in a way to kind of get you to, purchase these and sell these. And considering the recent slew of cabinets that have come out, I've made this point before in the past, but I think I want to make this point again because of what I saw here. Go to the Arcade1up website. This is their main page, and a part of their holiday collection, they're showing off what I am going to go ahead and assume are going to be the cabinets that have the broadest appeal. Maybe these aren't the ones that have sold the most, but I think they definitely have the biggest mass appeal. This is home screen. This is right on top of the website. This is it. And what do they have in common? Well, these are sports titles. Nothing wrong with that, but they're definitely much more casual, much more, I guess these are like the bar games, right? This is when you go to the bar, you got pool, you got darts, and you got a golf game, and you probably got NBA Jam. Maybe if it was a really nice bar, you had Blitz in there somewhere. But for the most part, this is what I'm talking about. And maybe sports games isn't exactly the right thing to say. Maybe just casual gaming could be their new focus. Now, why do I say that? Well, it's not necessarily, like I said, I know Blitz has been an issue. Blitz has had its problems right out the gate. A lot of that is self-inflicted, though. A lot of that is, what Arcade1up sort of did to themselves. Now, they did a couple things right. Remember, let's roll back the clock. When they rolled out that cabinet, they talked about the fact that this is not actually Blitz. You're not getting Blitz as you know it. This is a different version. They were upfront about that. I commended them on that. That was great. But the online play was the biggest issue. So basically, when you look at the cabinet, listen, the cabinet build is good. I've not really had issues with it. I mean, it seems like the marquees, they're just hit and miss with Arcade1up. I don't know what their deal is. They can't seem to get those things right. So I think if you buy it, you replace the marquee. But beyond that, you're in pretty good shape. You really are. But it's the self-inflicted wound of advertising the online play and not having it available, not having that locked down. Once again, going back to our previous segment, we talked about just under-promise and over-deliver. If you know you're going to put it in there, but it's not quite ready to go, who cares? Who cares? Don't say anything about it and eventually roll that thing out. But if you look at their holiday collection and what they consider to be the holiday collection, it's very sports heavy, right? It's definitely sports heavy. So some other reasons, though, it's not just one single ad. It's not just some of the games that have come out. Have you ever thought about the XL cabinets, like the big cabinets, their first step into like XL territory? What did they lead with? What did they start with? Well, I mean, we had KI Pro announced way early, but it never really materialized until just recently. And it was very limited quality. But think about mass market appeal or mass retail, mass produced XL cabs. What were they? They were NBA Jam, a Shaq Jam is the phrase. I think I coined that. I'm going to claim it. I probably didn't, but I don't care. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to stamp it. I'm going to lick it. It's mine. And there we go. But of course, Golden Tee. They took a chance on these cabinets. Make no mistake. Arcade1up took a chance on this new, bigger form factor. I think that they went with what they thought was going to be just home run hitters, and it was going to be definitely Golden Tee. And then not so much definitely, but, NBA Jam has a lot of mass market appeal, but that cabinet had been out so far and it just so saturated the market. It was weird for me to see this come out in this form factor, but it did. So the sports games led the way with the XL cabinets. Now we know that the monitors, absolute junk, but don't worry. Go over to the 19K Bucks YouTube channel. I have some tutorials on how to make that all better. All your problems go bye-bye. But that's what they lead with. So will this be their new focus? It's definitely easier to kind of listen. If you've got, okay, let's use this. We're talking about go local sports team. That's kind of a joke and I'm making fun, but let's use a sports analogy. I mean, if you've got a decent football team, but you've got a really good running back, I mean, the team's pretty good. I mean, you got several receivers that can catch a pass. You got a quarterback that's got a pretty good arm, but your running back is just, he nails it. You know he's going to get you 5 yards every time he touches the ball. You're going to have this tendency to just hand off to the running back. You go get us those easy points. Go get us those surefire things. I think that Arcade1up figures that the mass market appeal of some of these, they're not generic, but they're very much the casual gaming, casual arcade games, is going to be your Blitz. It's going to be your NBA Jam. It's going to be your Golden Tee. And that's fine. Let me use another analogy because I just want to confuse you totally. Think about like a studio like Disney or Marvel or somebody else. They'll come out with a big budget, big blockbuster movie, and then they make a bunch of money on that, but then that funds a bunch of smaller projects. That may be the better analogy. Let's come out with a cabinet that does really well, and we make so much money that we can now do some of these other smaller cabinets, some of these weird cabinets, some of the funky things, but we're getting a lot of people out there in the community that are asking for it. But what if they're not going to do that? What if they're just going to take their hits from the big cabinets and not necessarily focus on some of these weird cabinets? There's a lot of cabinets out there that are weird. Let's be honest. Let's just acknowledge that. You've got a deep cut. I've got a deep cut. We've all got these cabinets that we want that we know aren't super duper massively popular. We get that. But wouldn't it be nice if they could maybe make some of those? I don't know that that's going to be the case. because of just the way things have gone. I mean, even with NFL Blitz, they've stumbled out of the gate. And now the thing has just been out not that long and already fairly deep. I'm not going to say deep discount, but $100 off. Online pricing is nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, and we've seen them even lower than that. We've seen them in the 300s in some of these listings and ads that we've seen, not ads, but some of these pictures we're seeing from people that go to Costco or Sam's Club. It's pretty low. So is it going to be their new focus? I don't know. I hope not. Because, you know, what I think is that if you're talking about a crowd pleaser, you're going to please most of the people with like a crowd pleasing cabinet, let's say. You'll please most of the people some of the time, you know, but is that really going to translate into long-term success? Is that going to really translate to the diehards like us keeping our interest? We're the ones that sort of jumped on early and bought these cabinets and then bought multiple versions as the product evolved. But will you now lose us because it's pretty obvious that you're shifting your focus to these very casual, you know, cabinets out there? And I hate to say it, and I know it was just a rumor, but I mean, come on, if you need another example of this, Casinocade, anybody? Really? Virtual slot machines? Is that the way you want to go? When you think of an arcade, is that what you think of? Because for me, no, the answer is no. Last up, real quick, is we're going to talk about Ridge Racers selling out. Now, when I say sell out, not the cabinet overall, all over the world. You can't find it; it's gone. But we had kind of this earth-shattering. Well, okay, that might be. It's going to be an overstatement, but I don't care. I'm going to stick with it. A big pricing, earthquake. Right, $299 was a big deal when it was Ridge Racer, T2. Simpsons almost at this point doesn't count because it's been so deeply discounted, but still, that $299 crowd of cabinets came out with a bang, right? Well before Thanksgiving, well before Black Friday, and that pricing held. The first one to drop out of that list was Ridge Racer. Now, is that the way you thought it was going to shake out? Is that the way you think it would have fell? I think a lot of people would have probably said, well, maybe T2 is going to sell out first. So what do I mean? So mainstream, just pricing out there. If you go to Arcade1up's website, they are sold out of the Ridge Racer cabinet completely. That pricing had dipped down to $299. It was up at I think $399, and then full retail price is showing here, but it's sold out. Go over to Best Buy, and that was another place that had these. It really held the $299. The $299 was there. It's kind of started, I think, with Best Buy, and then everybody else followed suit. I think you may be able to find this on Target. And you can also find it on Walmart, but not for that $299 price point. You're going to have to look a little bit harder to find those. It is the first one to fall. What does that mean? Well, I think clearly it's probably the more popular of the two. I'm not even going to really include the Simpsons in this because of the deep discounts that have happened with that cabinet before. But if you're talking about the two at $299, I think it's probably it's sort of the clear winner when you think about the number of games. Driving games are probably, I don't know if they're more fun than shooters, but there's maybe a little more appeal there with a driving game. There's probably more value, perceived value with a driving cab. Even though that's just a one-player game, you have more games. Seems like there's more stuff there. And, the rumble steering is actually really good. I mean, I don't know that I talk enough about that. I don't know that we all talk enough about that. I know it's a simple mechanism, but it works really well. And it actually does add a lot to the experience because the driving cabs in the arcades had a lot more than just the steering wheel, right? So I'm going to make this kind of short, but I am concerned about one thing. Remember, we talked about the cabinets that left. Last week, we talked about the cabinets when they come out and you need to fight the FOMO because most of these cabinets stick around. They go deeply discounted and then they come back. Now, sometimes they come back at full price, full retail price, but they do come back. There were a couple notable exceptions. We talked about Burger Time, which is kind of a limited edition, right? Star Wars, and then we also talked about Outrun stand-up version. Is Ridge Racer going to fall by the wayside? Is Ridge Racer going to be the next Outrun cabinet that we don't see? Because I don't know that I thought that it was going to go away. Most people didn't think that the stand-up version was going to tank. Part of me really hopes that it doesn't. It's a great cabinet. But I think at this point, at $299, if you wanted the cabinet, you probably already got it. Would you look at that?
What the hell? Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
It is definitely that time to go ahead and wrap up the show. But before we wrap it up completely, I want to go over and take a look at the poll. So the poll question was pretty simple. I'm going to remind you of it real quick. We have 189. Can I get 11 more people, please? 11 more votes. Vote in the poll. The question was pretty simple. And I think you know where I fall on this now. But the question was, is there any online feature that is worth $100 more? Is there anything worth $100 more? My point to you, and so far, come on, 11 more votes. Can we get 11 more votes? I got 189. Can we get 200? I'll talk about it. I'll give you a few more seconds, but I really need to go ahead and close the poll. Is there any online feature that is worth $100? And I'm going to go ahead. Okay, I'll call it close enough. 192 votes. Pretty good. Let's go ahead and close the poll right now. And with a whopping 69, almost 70%, you say no. Here's why I asked the question. First off, I agree. Yeah, 192 votes, 70% say no. I agree with you. So my point is this. Sell the cabinet for whatever you're going to sell it for. $499, $599. I think they should stay $499. But go ahead and sell your cabinet online enabled for whatever price you want to pay. There's no feature that's going to justify an additional $100 price hike. So go ahead and sell it Wi-Fi enabled. Whether it has online play or not is probably not going to move the needle enough for somebody to say, I'm willing to pay an additional $100. Because if I think your cabinet is overpriced by $100, you saying it has online play is not going to make me go get it. I'm like, no, I think it's worth $500. So that's my point, is that there's really not an online feature out there that's going to be worth $100. It's just not, in my opinion. But you know what's worth $100 or even more? One would even say this is priceless. It's hanging out with B over the Kong's Oros channel. If you stay right here, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And if you hang out right here, you're going to be redirected automatically. What's he doing? What's he getting into? What is him and his wife up to now? I have no idea. But the only way you're going to know is if you stay here and hang out. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. I want to thank you so much for being patient with me. Thank you so much for hanging out, jet lag and all, having a drink. I'm going to go get some sleep, but I look forward to seeing all of you right back here next time. Peace.